Shares of Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Alphabet down in after-hours trading. This on news that the U.S. Justice Department said it's investigating whether tech giants are harming competition. Makin Delrahim, the head of the Antitrust Division, laid out the department's reasoning, saying without the discipline of meaningful market-based competition, digital platforms may act in ways that are not responsive to consumer demands, and added the department's antitrust review will explore these important issues. To discuss in Washington, we've got Chris Calabresi, the Vice President of Policy for the Center of Democracy and Technology, and with us here in the studio, Eric Hippo, Managing Partner of Lero Hippo, an early-stage venture capital firm. Eric, what's your take on the rising pressure at the highest levels on big tech?
Well, it's a major reversal from the lax enforcement that we have seen in previous years and previous administration. The five of the top 5 companies in America are tech companies, and suddenly we are saying that they're anti-competitive and subject to antitrust, activity. Do
you use the word lax, implying that they haven't been doing enough?
I think they were lax on the privacy issue for sure, and we're now seeing perhaps that the FTC is going to fine Facebook a record fine of $5 billion. That's kind of separate from antitrust. I find that antitrust laws are going to be very difficult. I think they're going to be very difficult to enforce because antitrust laws really are look at the harm to the consumer, mostly in the rise of prices and so on. Most of these services are for free. So it's going to be very difficult to demonstrate that, in fact, they are harming consumers in that respect. So they're going to have to use, if they really are going to go after these companies, they're going to have to use other rules than the antitrust rules.
Chris, you wonder, with obviously pressure coming from multiple federal agencies, the president himself, and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, is there enough will to make an antitrust case when it comes to these 4 companies?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, that's not to say that it's going to happen, but I was honestly not as surprised by this news. I mean, we know that the Antitrust Division is considering competition issues in this space. They've been signaling it for a while. The FTC has been doing the same thing. So, I mean, honestly, DOJ is always looking at these companies. Whether they'll be able to, in fact, decide to bring a case, I think it's a separate issue. But until we hear more, I think it's more of a wait and see.
So, the question has been asked over and over again, are regulators doing enough? Would you say that now? Are regulators doing enough?
Well, I mean, there's so many issues coming to tech today. I mean, we've talked a little bit about privacy. There's competition. There's, conservatives talk about anti-conservative bias. So, I mean, it's sort of enough in what area? I would say certainly we need more in privacy. We need baseline privacy rules in the United States. That goes without saying. Whether we're doing enough in competition, I think that remains to be seen. The competition laws are very flexible, and they may, in fact, get to this kind of conduct.
Eric, of the big 4, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook, which do you think prevents the best case for a breakup?
Oh, for a breakup? Okay. Well, the obvious one is Facebook because of its acquisition of WhatsApp and Instagram many years ago, when the government didn't think that they were a threat as a monopoly. Today, particularly since Facebook has announced that they're going to integrate these 3 messaging platforms, that would perhaps go for a breakout. But these things take forever. If you remember, the case against Microsoft took years and years and it didn't really do much to hurt Microsoft. So I think there's quite a bit of political posturing in all of this. I don't know that they will lead to anything.